morning everyone, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. If you would like a personal reading with me, you can do that through www.theaussiegoddess.com. I am on limited readings this week. Hopefully I'll get back to normal hours next week, but I'm still sort of trying to find my way here. I want to say a huge thank you to you all for your beautiful feedback and your support. Like from the beginning of this channel, it's always been amazing, and it doesn't matter. I know there's so many of you who've been on the life journey with me. I feel like I know you personally now. So thank you for all your support. It really does mean a lot to me, your comments and your well wishes. All right, we've got the Magician hopping out of the deck here. So let's see where we're going with this reading today. We're going to use the Albino Rider-Waite Tarot for your reading today. Let's see what's going on. All right, so we have the Seven of Wands coming straight through. The Seven of Wands is a card that talks about standing your ground, being defiant, standing up for something you believe in. Sometimes we do this unnecessarily and we can become quite defensive rather than, you know, being open to new things or open to new experiences. So there's sort of a nice balance with the Seven of Wands. So it sits between the Victory card and the Eight of Wands, which of course is about rapid movement. So it sits between two really good cards. But this particular one, sort of, sometimes it's about letting your guard down a little bit and going with the flow, not fighting so hard, or not being so resistant or defensive. And at other times it sort of says, you know, you need to stand up for yourself, stand up for what's right, you know, work against others. So I guess it sort of has two faces depending on the sort of energy it comes along with. The Wheel of Fortune says that some change is coming. When change is coming, you need to be less sort of defensive, fight it less. You know, sometimes as human beings we find change, especially if you've had, you know, a difficult sort of life, sometimes you can find change really uncomfortable. It is something that you sort of need to get used to, but for some people it can be very frightening, very scary. Some people get stuck in a mindset of a certain thing and they cannot see beyond that. Sometimes it's more physical than that, like, you know, having to change a job or a relationship or whatever. And sometimes we can sort of sit up and try to be sort of, you know, fight against it. But I guess the universe is saying here change is inevitable with the Wheel of Fortune. Something is turning here, something is changing, something is bringing something new in here. And it's all sort of moving in your favor. So there's no need to sort of feel out of your comfort zone here. It's sort of better to go with the change rather than fighting against it. Go with the flow. There's an ending. Okay. The universe is bringing around an ending to something. There's a completion. The cycle has gone full cycle and there is a natural ending to something. And what we're being asked to do here is not to fight what is inevitable, what is on our path, what is coming, what is completing. I feel like with the Ten of Swords, for me, it's always very much like the end of negativity, the end of negative thinking. It could be the end of, you know, a lack mentality, for example, at the end of some negative way of thinking. And sometimes that's something that we learn about ourselves, or we learn about who we are. You know, especially if you sort of start to become the observer in your own life and you see things that you're doing that really make you realize how you've been living or doing things for a while that really don't serve you anymore. Now, some people are very close-minded and very narrow-minded, and they won't see those things. So you could challenge someone, for example, that had a very narrow-minded view on something. And if their narrow-minded view is not able to be changed, then they are stuck in that negative mentality. What the universe wants us to do is to be open to new ideas, even if we don't adopt them as our own. So it's okay to not believe in something. It's okay not to agree with someone. But sometimes it is about us sort of standing back and seeing things from a different perspective. So something about us is changing here. And it's going to change because it's time. So we're being asked to go with the flow and just look at the way we're doing things and ask ourselves, is there a better way that we could do them? Sometimes it is hard to change. It's hard to change the way you're doing something, but it's good to be open-minded and see the options or the opportunities. And that's the magician. So it jumped out on me in the beginning. So there is something definitely here that you are manifesting. And I can't help feeling here that perhaps you've manifested something that isn't quite coming in the way that you thought it was, but you are stubbornly holding on to a certain way or thing happening in a certain way, and it's not happening in that way, and you're becoming a little defensive or a little uncomfortable with how it's being presented to you. But I feel like here with these cards, the universe is saying to you, you can't do things this way anymore. Things have to change. There is natural change. And with the magician, it's something that you've manifested. But I also feel like I need to say here that you can do this. Whatever it is, you can do it. You have everything you need. Now, it could be, for example, I love to give examples, right? So say, for example, there's an ending to a job. Maybe you've done this job for 20 years and you can't see yourself doing anything else. Maybe you're resisting the change. You might be creating office gossip. You may be being mean about people or whatever else, but you're trying to deal with it in this Seven of Wands the best way you know how. But there's definitely an energy here that you've become negative with that Ten of Swords. And the universe is saying to you here, if you embrace change, if you move forward, this is what you've wanted. This is what you've asked for. You have everything you need to accept the change. Now, we do have the Six of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles coming through here. So the Six of Cups, not Six of Wands. Sometimes I do catch myself doing that. The Six of Cups is a card about nostalgia. It's a card about the past. And again, I got this feeling when I picked up the cards that maybe something you've adjusted to from childhood has been the way you've always done things. And maybe you're being asked to see or do them in a completely different way. I sort of feel with this Ace of Pentacles here that some sort of new beginnings coming through, but this time you're being asked to take a different approach to it. You may not be comfortable with change. You may not be comfortable with doing things the way you've always done them. Maybe it's something new that you have to adapt to. I have a good example. Like many years ago, I worked behind the bar, and in those days, the truck drivers would all line up along the bar, and they'd have their beer. I mean, they smoked, and and everything was very, very different in those days. And it was a lot of fun because everybody would talk and chat across the bar, and it was quite a long bar where the truck drivers sat. And I used to enjoy it. It used to be a lot of fun. Everybody be telling jokes, telling you about their day, asking you what you'd been up to, and it was all really good fun. And I remember the truck drivers sitting there, and they were talking about the fact they were bringing in these sort of the semi-trailers with the extra trailer, and I can't think what they're called now. And the truck drivers were really annoyed because they were having young people coming in from university talking to them about how to drive the trucks and how it would be so much better, the B doubles, how much better it would be with these B doubles and loads and whatever else. And of course, in those days, a lot of the truck drivers were, I guess, a little bit older. And they were very offended that they were getting young people telling them how they're going to drive these new trucks. Well, come to today and have a look around, and in Australia everything is about double, triple trucks. We have road trains which have several trucks on them. There is all everywhere. That is how people are now. And the change was uncomfortable for those people to start with, but at the end of the day the change still took place regardless. And a lot of people get stuck in this sort of idea of this is the only way it can be. And a lot of people don't like technology, so they resist technology. All that's about change, and it's going to happen regardless of whether we want it to or not. And you can cling on, you can fight to the nth degree, but something here is bringing in change for you. It's a brand new beginning. It's something really good and something you're being offered by the universe. In fact, with that Magician card there, this says to me that you've asked for this at some level. at some level you've asked for the change. Change doesn't always come in the form that we ask for it. It just does. It just comes. And it's about being adaptable, not fighting. This is like, I want to say, cutting off your nose to spite your face. But I feel like the universe is saying you wanted this new opportunity. You wanted a new beginning. You wanted change. You wanted to see things differently. You didn't want things to stay the same. Somewhere or another here, you've asked for something, and everything is going to change as a result of that. And it's moving very, very swiftly towards you here. Whatever this change is coming in very, very quickly. Very rapid movement with the Knight of Swords. I feel like somebody's coming in with some sort of communication here that feels that it's going to happen straight away. When you work for government, changes every day going to work. You get in your seat and the next thing, something's changed. It was just part of what you did. And I guess for me, it was a very good lesson because I learned to understand that things don't stay the same regardless of what you do. They just can't. So Knight of Swords says to me, something is changing very, very quickly. May well be in your love life here with the Ace of Cups coming through. So it could be some sort of change in your love life that's going to rattle your cage. I feel like it's for the best because you have the Ace of Pentacles here. But whatever this is, I mean, for some of you, this could be a change in your household. You could have a child coming home saying, I'm leaving home, or I'm moving out, or there could be a relationship that has come to a natural ending. But something is happening here. But because it's the Ace of Cups, I'm feeling it has something to do with love. And you may become single. You may be more independent because of this. Maybe this is, you know, your last child leaving home. Maybe it's, you know, a breakdown of a relationship. Maybe with this Nine of Pentacles here, you're just about to score a job and you're terrified of taking on something new because you don't feel you have the capacity. But you have the Magician there, so the universe is saying you have what it takes. Sometimes that change can be very uncomfortable because we don't see, we can't see what's on the other side of the change. And that's exactly what the moon is saying. You know, you're never going to see what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen the next day, for example. You know, every time the sun rises, it's not the same day. Sometimes you're lucky if it's sort of similar to the day before. Sometimes you don't even want it to be the same as the day before. But when the moon comes around, it says something here is just either frightening you or scaring you because you can't see the outcome. That's control. That's trying to control it. That's fighting for the control. So when the moon comes around, we know that there is something here that is possibly scary, frightening. And I feel like here you're the Nine of Pentacles energy. Like you're a lot stronger than you think. You're a lot stronger. You're a lot more resourced and a lot more capable. And maybe this Ace of Cups for some of you represents the love you found for yourself. Now, maybe now you're in the energy of, you know, feeling love for yourself. Anything can come at you. It doesn't matter what it is. And you will manage it because you've learned that you have everything it takes. And maybe you've become more resistant, more resilient through these times because whatever this is coming, there we go. For some of you, it may even be the offer of commitment. Maybe you're going from, you know, being in a relationship to marriage. Maybe you're going from being single into commitment. And let's face it, that cold feet thing, that unknown, can be quite scary for most people, even if it's what you want. The change is coming here. All right, so it looks like you're dealing with a Leo, Sag, or Aries energy here. Look at that change. Somebody's changing something for you. Somebody, I feel, whoever this person is. Now, for some of you, this could be a manager at work. It could be somebody in a position of leading. For me, it's somebody that is very charismatic, very charming. Maybe the change is sort of being dumped on you in a really pleasant way. But the King of Wands is, maybe you've got a new boss, new manager. Maybe this person has all these visions and things and you're like, whoa, you know, we've been used to just packing and stacking. This guy's got all these ideas he wants us to do. And we don't want to change. We want to pack and stack as we've always done. But I feel like whatever this is coming here, it is going to bring a lot more stability. But it's definitely bringing in great change with that Death card. That's goodbye to the old and hello to the new. All right, so you have the Eight of Wands coming through with the Chariot and the World. Now that says it all. Those three cards say it all. If you have a look at those. There is rapid change, and we know that because we have the Knight of Swords here. So something is rapidly changing. It's like one day you're here, the next day you're here. It's completed. The Chariot says to me there's forward movement. So whatever it is, whatever is closing off here with this World card is creating forward movement. So maybe you've been stuck for a while and asking for change. Maybe you were sick of your job and asking for change, but now the change is coming. You're feeling like this energy, which says to me you're trying to sort of control your environment rather than just going with the flow. But this here says it all. Great change is coming. Move forward. The end is here. So whatever this is, it's the completion of a cycle and the new beginning with the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like for some of you, this may be just an emotional or a way of doing things that you can't do anymore. But I can't help thinking for many of you here, this is like a physical change. I feel like for some of you it may be work, for some of you it's definitely relationship. I don't feel that the change is doom and gloom, although it does make me feel that you're a little worried about how this will change things. It's Cancer and Scorpio energy here, and Capricorn, so you may be dealing with one of those signs. But I feel ultimately you're being told that you have what you need. You love yourself enough to be able to go with the flow here. So whatever it is changing for you is going to bring about greater stability. And for some of you, it may be somebody asking for your hand in marriage. And I've got that a lot this week because that King of Wands is looking at that Four of Wands here. But something huge is coming. All right, so the universe is saying, let down your guard. Change is coming. This is the end of a cycle here. You have everything you need to embrace the new cycle. Let go of the way you've done things. Let go of the past. This is brand new here. And you have the Ace of Pentacles coming through. There's definitely messages or communication coming through here. So I don't know where this is coming to for you, but it is definitely coming through with that Page of Swords. All right, let's just have a look at an oracle card. Oh, it's right there, Earth pulsing. Pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. So that may be very well about you taking time out here to be able to work with the energies. A mysterious pulse is woven through all of life. The planet itself has a rhythm. You can see it in the seasons and tides. In our world of artificial lighting, long working hours and modern conveniences, it's easy for us to feel stuck and off kilter. It's time to reconnect with nature and surrender to the pulse of the earth. Earth pulsing is my favorite tool for surrendering to the rhythmic pulse of the mother and the entire universe. Download an Earth pulsing. There's a meditation you can download for that. So it's talking about us feeling disconnected to the source, Mother Earth, and how we can consciously connect to what we need to see. And it talks about the veil is lifting. So maybe with this change, it is something for you that is changing within how you see things or how you see your world. And it talks about letting stagnant energy fall away, which is very much sort of coming across in that sort of Seven of Wands energy about releasing, not fighting it, not fighting the change. But it's definitely moving and there's definitely a change coming. A big change with that Death card. And a lot of forward movement. So whatever this is, it feels like it's been holding you back. You feel like you've been stuck. So I would say to you, maybe go out and connect with nature. Take your shoes off and walk barefoot across the ground. Don't tread on any bees. Thank you.